Hi everyone, so today's quick tip video is just how to look after and clean your stamps. So in our Stampin' Up catalogue we sell a couple of different stamp cleaners and I just want to explain what they are and show you how I use them. So the first one that I'm going to start off with is Stazon ink. Now this is a solvent based ink and this is the ink that you use if you want to do any watercolouring or if you want to stamp onto a slick surface, so something like maybe a porcelain coaster or vellum or window sheet or acetate, that kind of thing. That's what you would use Stazon for. And the Stazon ink has its own Stazon Cleaner. So the Stazon Cleaner is found on page 163 of the annual catalogue, and this will clean and condition your rubber stamps that have been stamped with Stazon ink. It will also try and help minimise staining, but if you're using clear or photopolymer type stamps, they will tend to stain anyway. It doesn't affect the quality or the image that you'll get, they just will stain. But if you're using a Stazon ink on a rubber stamp, the sooner you clean it, the better it will be for getting a lot of the staining off. Mine looks slightly differently because this is an old packaging, but basically the way that I clean my stamps is to use my Simply Scrub. Now, all these products will all be listed directly below the video on YouTube. There's also going to be an accompanying blog post with direct links to all these products in my Stampin' Up shop. But the Simply Scrub is about 6 inches square, something like that. And basically when you open it up, it's got two platforms. In the top left-hand corner, there are like little water droplets. So this is the side they recommend for using wet. And then on this side here, there's like a little sunshine. And this is the side that they recommend that you keep dry. These black areas do come out and you can wash them. But this is how you would use it. So you've got your rubber stamp all inked up and you've done your stamping. You need to bring in your Stazon Cleaner, rub it over the stamp, over onto the wet side, give it a good rub with your stamp and it will instantly clean it and condition it, and then dry it. And then your stamp is good to go for next time. So that's your Stazon Cleaner. Now, I've just got some other ink pads here. So I've got Memento Tuxedo Black, I've got Versamark, and I've got one of our regular In Colour ink pads. All these three here are all water-based inks, and Versamark is generally used when you want to do kind of like a watermark impression on your card, and it's also used when you want to be using embossing powder to heat set with a heat gun. Memento you would tend to use if you're going to be doing any colouring in with your stamping blends, which are our alcohol markers, because these are then opposite. So this is water based, your alcohol markers are alcohol based. Same with our regular dye based ink pads, these are all water based. So any of these you can look after either way depending on what you're using. So again, you can ink them up, and this time we sell Stampin Mist. This is my refill bottle. Again, all these products are all available in our annual catalogue. I decant mine into a spray bottle. So basically I take some of this, pour it into a spray bottle, and then again I'll just use the Highland Heather for now. So if I've, let me just, so if I've inked up my stamp and used it, I would clean this by just on the wet side of the Simply Scrub, giving it a couple of quick squirts with the Stampin Mist. Give it a good rub round, and you can kind of see that it kind of lathers up on your pad. And then I've just got my ink pad, my block a bit wet here, so let me just dry that off. There you go. And then dry it on that side, and again it's good to go for the next time. So the Stampin Mist together with the Simply Scrub can be used for any of your water-based ink pads. Now, let's say that you may use your rubber stamps with a stamp positioner. So Stampin' Up sell the Stamparatus. So you've probably all seen me use this. And this is the type of thing that you would put your rubber stamp onto here, ink it up, and then you stamp it. So obviously this isn't going to be as easy to clean as using a stamp on a, on a block. So rather than having to pick this up and take it to your Simply Scrub and clean it with your hands, we've also now got our Simply Chamois. Now this is a purple sponge basically, and when you get it, it will feel quite thick and solid. Basically all you need to do with this is run it under the tap to let it fully absorb water, and once it's completely changed colour, you'll see it's full of water. Wring it out. Stampin' Up sell these DVD cases. These are the kind of cases that all our stamp sets come in, and you can buy these in packs. And then I just keep my damp chamois in one of these cases and keep it in the drawer together with my Simply Scrub and my other stamp cleaning equipment. And it will stay wet in here for some considerable amount of time. But obviously if you come to use it and it feels a bit solid again, you can see I can press this in and the sponge is going in. That's because it's still damp. If you come to it and it's dry and it's solid, just run it back under the tap and wring it out. So with the Simply Chamois, you just take it out, then you can clean your stamp on your stamp positioner. You can also clean the positioner itself if you've overstamped and got ink on your platform, and then you just put it back in the chamois in its case, seal it up, and it's good to go. But again, you can use the chamois if you're using stamps on blocks. It doesn't really matter, it's personal preference. So again, if you've inked this up and you've used it, just bring in your chamois. You'll have seen me do this loads of times in videos. Just give it a good clean. Sometimes you have to give it a bit of a press and a wiggle for it to get in between all the elements of your stamp. It depends how detailed it is. But that is instantly cleaned now and more or less dry straight away and ready to go for next time. So that's just a quick look at a couple of options for cleaning your stamps. One thing I forgot to say is Stampin' Up also sell these little spritzer bottles. All these items, as I say, will all be listed underneath the video. They'll all be in the accompanying blog post. But basically what you can do, you can decant some of your Stampin' Mist into one of these spritzer bottles, seal it back up, pull your lid off, and then you've got a spray to use with your Simply Scrub next time you want to clean your stamps. So there's different options, and it just depends whichever one suits you. It's kind of personal preference. So you've got your Stampin' Cleaner, you've got your Stazon Cleaner, you've got your Simply Scrub, you've got your chamois, and we also sell the spritzing bottles for you to decant your Stampin' Mist into. So I hope you found that quick tip video helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.